What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today. I've got the music playing right now. I will pause it once we get into the technical analysis of this video. But for the intros and for the outros, I like to have it playing. We're talking about this for you, Lifetime Bull. You want to know what the chances are that 100K is the top this cycle for Bitcoin, and just know that this isn't like a real number. All right, I'm giving you a percentage chance based off my own personal bias, but my opinion for what the likelihood is for 100K being the cycle high this cycle for Bitcoin is a 0% chance. I say 0%. And that's not because I think we're going to stop below 100K. That's because I think we're going to shred through it. 100K, 0% chance to be our high, because I think we're going to 400K, 500K, higher numbers. And I know that sounds crazy, you guys. If it's your first time here, I'm going to go over the long-term analysis that I normally do for BTC and just show you where I'm coming from. So I know it sounds like a crazy number, but throughout this video, maybe it'll start to make sense, okay? Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't. I do technical analysis every day, you guys, every single day on various coins, not just Bitcoin, but altcoins. Whatever you guys request, whatever you want to see, I do that. If you have requests, feel free to leave them in the comments. If I don't give you a shout out, it's not because I don't see your name. It's because you probably aren't the first person to request it. And I'm only saying that because there are about 5 people that requested Bitcoin today. So there's about 4 of you that didn't get a shout out. And that's not because I didn't see your comments or I don't acknowledge you or I don't appreciate you. I appreciate every single person that watches these videos. But if I don't give you a shout out, it's not because I don't like you or I'm ignoring you. It's because somebody requested it first. And instead of going through and doing this explanation every time, or saying we're doing Bitcoin at the request of da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, I'm just going to say we're doing Bitcoin at the request of da-da, just one person, you know what I mean? It's easier, it flows better. It certainly doesn't flow as good when I have to explain it, but I feel like I've had a couple comments recently where people are a little bit salty about it, and maybe not, but you pointed out, and I want you to know it's nothing personal. It's really just to keep things in the flow. But enough of that, man. Let's get into the TA. I'm going to pause the music right now. If we look at the very first cycle, we'll do the long-term analysis very briefly. It's not going to take too long. The very first cycle high in June of 2011 to the cycle low, the very first cycle low we had. The next cycle high came all the way up to the 2272. That's where we found resistance. We actually broke just through it. We found resistance right there and moved down. If we take the same idea, we take the high and we put it to our cycle high right here, right? That's the new all-time high at that time to the cycle low. Right? Cycle high to cycle low. The very next cycle we topped off again just above the 2272, just above it, right? And then from here, from cycle high to cycle low, this was the only time, last cycle was the only time that we did not see the 2272, but instead we stopped at the 1618. We actually went just above that too. So personally, I do think we're going to see the 2272 of this cycle, which from the last cycle is at 200,000, but from the current cycle that we have, the high to low that we have, the 1618 is at almost $174,000. So that, in my opinion, you guys, just to put it very blunt and short and sweet, this is my minimum expected target, as in I expect this to happen. I would bet anybody and everybody that we see that price by the end of this cycle, which you're going to ask, when is the end of the cycle? Nobody knows. Likely it's going to be sometime in 2025, likely the second half of 2025, late Q3 or sometime in Q4 is my thoughts. Probably early Q4 is really what I'm thinking, but or maybe late Q3. Anyways, that's the minimum target. If we were to go to the 2272 as we did the previous cycles before the last cycle, we would see a 462,000 Bitcoin, and that's not even where it stops, because both times before it went a little bit above. In my opinion, the psychological level, the attraction of $500,000 at 500,000. It's a psychological number in itself that it's 500,000, but it's also a psychological level in the sense that it's $500,000. How many people are going to talk about $1 million being on the table once we get up here? You know, so I think we break through 400K, and I think we go all the way up to about 500K. We might even go a little bit through it. We might even just fall short of 500K, but somewhere around 500K is where I think we're going for the end of the cycle. I hope that makes sense. There's various reasons besides just this simple measurement using the fibs, but I'm just going to kind of keep it brief there so that we can move on to the short-term analysis. Looking at the monthly RSI, man, it's so strong. It's really so. We can do something else real quick, okay? Just real quick before we get into the short term. I've done this a few times, but let's do it in this video just for the sake of it. Again, guys, if you're new to the channel, hit that like button, subscribe. If you're old to the channel, you guys already know what to do. Thank you all for being here. I would say at the first glance we got into the overbought zone, right, because this cycle is the only cycle that we didn't reach for the overbought zone, come down, reach for it, came down, reached for it, came down. It's the only cycle that we didn't. We just went straight through. But when we actually moved through, we essentially continued to move. This means we found 5 months in a row of green months, okay? Right over here, from our first month to when we got like a significant turnaround point, that was about 9 months. And then here, that was another 5 months. Okay, so let me just see. And we did have a significant turnaround during that month. So anyways, 5 months, 9 months, and 5 months. We have gotten into this overbought zone here on this month. That would have been in February, right? We just ended March. So 5 months being the minimum would more or less give us the idea that Bitcoin is going to continue to grow until July. Okay, now this is the first time that we haven't had the little check before. Is that going to maybe prohibit us from seeing this longer phase of growth? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know if this was necessary every time to form a more consistent move upwards or not. But as of right now, what we have, being that we're in the overbought zone for realsies, right? Not this little fake out, not a rejected attempt. We are actually in the overbought zone. We've maintained at a minimum 5 months in a row of just continuing to climb and getting stronger readings month after month, which essentially implies that we're getting green months in a row. So all I'm trying to say, and even whenever we didn't get 9 green months in a row, we didn't really stop. I feel like this, I could say that it stopped here, but I just feel like this is your local high, right? Like this obviously, you went all the way up here, but like this was at this high. This is kind of near these levels. That's kind of the reason I did this instead of taking it from here. But even then, that's 3 months, and 3 months would mean that at least until next month we're moving up. But I'm getting way too speculative, caught up on the details at this point. I just really think 5, 9, 5. We could see 5 months now. We could see 9 months. Maybe we see the shortest, whatever. But I think that being that we are, as of right now, on our second month, 2 months of being in the overbought zone, I think that we have more to go, is all I'm trying to say. I think that before we see a significant correction, you guys, a significant correction, being anything that's like 20% or more, we are probably moving up to 100K or higher. We're at 70,884 right now. If we look at the weekly time frame here, we are overbought on the weekly, but we've been here, we've done that. We've definitely got the capacity to stay in this overbought zone for a longer amount of time than we've already been in it. Let me see. If we look at the previous all-time high to the cycle low that we just had, that we just found, it looks like we're reaching for the 1272 right now at about $103,000. Potentially higher than that, stuff like that. Sorry guys if you can hear that. One second. And I'm back, man. I'm back. I might have to stop again, but long story short, guys, the way this fib looks from high to low, how we've interacted with the 618 on the first attempt, found support on it, and now we're reaching. We already broke above the 886. You guys, this isn't just a probability at this point, or a possibility. It's like promised. It's essentially going to happen. In my genuine opinion, this has a very high probability of happening. On a percentage basis. So I think that we are right now in the middle of a move that's reaching for 100K. And I don't think it's going to happen overnight. I don't think that we're just going to week after week after week go up like this. We will have red weeks in the middle, however small they are or brief they are. But this week here we had about 22% to the green. Let's just see, for example, 22% to the green. If we were to do that one more time, essentially 2 more weeks like that is all we would need. You know, it could take as little as 2 weeks to get up there. But you know, 22%, that's the biggest week. That's kind of the standout week in itself. Really, we had another week that was 9.2%, 13.4%, 7.9%, you know, stuff like that. Smaller, a lot smaller than 22%. So I would assume, what I'm trying to get to is I would assume it will take at least another month or so to see these prices. But you guys, it's not far away until we see prices above 100K. Like, genuinely speaking, we're doing that right now. We are in the middle of that right now. Just look at what we're doing. We're literally holding support right above the previous all-time highs. It's great. Daily RSI looks fine. I mean, it could look better. I'd like to get us into the 60, but I mean, if today, if we were to close today green, then we would be in the 60. We'd be in the bullish area of control. So hopefully we get a little reversal. We're not even down 1% today, so I do think that that's possible. Let me look at the 4-hour real quick. 4-hour rejection off the overbought zone is not encouraging, though I will say I like the way this RSI looks nonetheless. Let's see how this 4-hour candle closes. You guys will know by the time that this video comes out. I don't have faith that it'll completely reverse. It could. It's not even 1%, so for Bitcoin to move up 1% in 50 minutes, I think that it absolutely could do that. The 1 hour looks fine. I mean, all the time frames look fine, and I think we are getting ready for that next move up. Do we have an ascending? It's kind of like an ascending triangle. It's odd, but I do think it's bullish. I think it's all bullish in nature. So anyways, guys, that's all I got. I feel like I rambled on a little bit. I kept getting distracted because my daughter is she is screaming in the other room. My wife's putting her down, but I don't know if you guys could hear that or not, but it was distracting me a little bit. So hopefully it wasn't distracting you guys. Hopefully it didn't pick up too much, but I have a feeling it did. This is a good mic, man. But anyways, I appreciate all of you for being here. Thank you very much. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you guys on the next one. 100K is right around the corner. Take care.